Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are chatting about the double-stranded sock pattern that was just released on Ravelry. I'm super excited for this pattern and I hope you guys are too. So if you had any of these questions, definitely make sure that you watch ahead and grab the special coupon code on my blog post. I will link everything I chat about down below this video, as well as a direct link to my blog post. You can find me both on Instagram and Ravelry as Julianne Knitter. I am obsessed with knitting socks double-stranded. This pattern I released today on December 10th because it was something that I was getting so many questions about and you guys were really excited, so I thought that I would come and release a pattern. The double-stranded socks is a brand new pattern available on Ravelry and soon on Lovecraft. And it is knit up in 6 different sizes. You have sizes from toddler, child, adult, small, medium, large, and extra large. You will have instructions for 3 different heel types, a heel flapping gusset, a German short row heel, as well as a afterthought heel. All of the instructions are cuff down. I've also included the instructions on how to include a super fun color pop at the cuff, and everything is in there for you. I've knit up 3 different samples that I will be showing off, and in this video I will also be answering the top questions that I got for how to knit double-stranded, what is double-stranded, all of that information. So I hope you guys are super excited. First up, this sample I knit out of Artistic Lilly in her Christmas at the Cabin. Now, double-stranded knitting is just meaning that you hold 2 strands together to create an incredible and amazing fabric. For these samples, I've knit 2 strands of the exact same yarn held double. Now, if you'd want, you could definitely do a marled effect, which would mean that you would hold 2 strands of 2 different yarns together to create an even more unique fabric. I think that this would be amazing if you have any self-striping yarn and hold it double, maybe with like cream, neutral, beautiful color. I think that that would be so beyond amazing, which I may have to do that for one of my next pairs. I have some Knit Pictorial Glimmer, which is just a bare yarn and has like this glimmer and shine to it, which this held with a beautiful self-striping I think would be so epic. I love it. So you can definitely have fun with this. You can use up some stash yarn. You can use up leftover yarns. All of the yardage and information is all in the Ravelry listing as well as in the pattern. For this pattern, depending on the size, I recommend 80 to 120 grams of yarn. Now what that means is you will need all of that amount of grams for the finished pair of socks. What is 120 grams? Usually what that means is that you would have a sock set. So this sock set, for an example, is from Artistic Lilly. This is Light Up Your Holiday sock set. She has 1 full skein of 100 grams with a 20 gram mini. Now, if you are knitting the 3 larger sizes, I would highly recommend having at least 120 grams. I do want to mention that these are approximate yardages, and if you are making, for an example, like a US 13, 14 size feet, super long leg, you will be using up more yarn. So please keep that in mind for whoever you're gift knitting to, for yourself. Depending on the sizes, if you are wanting a longer leg and longer foot, you will require more yardage. So maybe if you are knitting those sizes, grab an extra little mini skein out of your stash for the toe, just in case if you need it. But yes, so this one is definitely going to be cast on in my future for a double-stranded socks. I think that this would just be so beyond stunning together. Really love it. So this is what 120 grams looks like. I also have another sock set. You could also have these 2 that are absolutely stunning. This is Molly of the Homespun House in her Little Spruce and Barley sock set. This one as well I'm going to be casting on in the future. Don't know if I want a double. Yeah, I do want a double-stranded. I'm just obsessed. Now, When you are knitting double-stranded yarn, a lot of people, the question that I had was, how much are you twisting that yarn and how are you holding it? You do not twist the yarn in any certain way. You are literally just holding it double-stranded. And I will show you. So here is the project, and this is just to really show you that you don't twist the yarn. I'm just going to knit a stitch, and you knit it as normal while holding it double. I'm not twisting, I'm not turning, I'm just holding it normally, but the strands together, and I knit. And it creates such an amazing fabric. I can't even. So the second question that I get asked the most is, how do you divide your yarn? Now for this, you will need a kitchen scale. You can get these anywhere from Amazon to your local store. These are just, I mean, this is just a super old kitchen scale that I have. As long as it can measure out grams, that's how I weigh it out. The first step that I do is I take my skein of yarn, the 100 grams, and I wind it up with my ball winder and my Swift to a full-size cake that looks like this. I cake up the entire thing, and then I weigh, see the little yarn? Then I weigh the cake. The reason it's important to weigh out before you start dividing is some dyers may include a little bit more or a little bit less than 100 grams. And this will ensure that when you divide your cakes that you're dividing them equally and accurately. So this will give you a full cake. You weigh that out on your weight scale. And if it's 100 grams, then you are going to take your ball winder. I will link ball winder and Swift down below if you don't have any and want to splurge and grab yourself some. Then you will take your ball winder and you will wind off half of the amount that you've weighed. So if it was 100 grams, you will weigh out 50 grams, and then it will give you 2 cakes of yarn of 50 grams each. You will knit those 2 strands together. I prefer knitting outside of the ball. I do not like pulling from the inside because of yarn barf. That just means like that poof of yarn that gets all tangled. It's called yarn barf. We don't want that. We don't want that here, because you know why? It slows down our knitting time. We don't got time for that. And there's nothing I hate more than unwinding yarn. One of the reasons I will never become a yarn dyer. I hate wet yarn and I hate untangling yarn. I would rather weave in ends than untangle yarn. Not happening. Still haven't mastered the perfect, like, anyways. I take out this outside of the ball. So that is how you wind your yarn. You divide your yarn, and it's really simple as that. Sorry if you can hear my husband. He's downstairs on another conference call and loves to use like his voice. Love him, but he's loud. So the second sample that I knit up, I want to share with you all, was from my friend Laura of Campfiber Yarns, and this one is in her Merry Grinchmas colorway. I really love this colorway, and she has it available in her shop right now. I will link it in the doobly-doo down below. For this one, I did a kind of a fun little toe. What I did was I started my decreases in the gray, and then I just decided to change to the green, and then kind of did like a fun little pop. So it's not like the full decreases. It kind of has that little tiny pop. Just gives it a little extra something. You can really have fun with this pattern. It is written for just plain vanilla, which means that there is no texture pattern to it, but you can continue the ribbing. You could do a fun cable. You can do anything with this sock recipe, and it's just a lot of fun. So I knit these. I have not mentioned I use a US 5, and I absolutely love Knit Picks Prism interchangeable needle set, or they're nickel plated. Those two I absolutely love, and I've knit all of the socks on those needles. It goes so fast. It knits up, like you could knit one sock in a day. And it is very similar to a worsted weight gauge, I would say, for me, the way that I do them. It's a little bit heavier than a DK. I got questions on, is it squishy? Is it uncomfortable? How does it feel? It feels amazing, okay? Absolutely amazing. The texture, it feels so squishy. It's just a perfect squishy, comfortable sock. Like, it's so hard to explain if you've not knit it yourself. Like, stop this video, get the pattern, wait, go to the blog, get your 25% off coupon code, then cast on, and then you can continue me. Like, it's so much fun. I was doing a Zoom Patreon last night with my Patreon group, and was it one of my patron members? She had already cast on like the same day and was halfway through her leg. It's that fast. It's amazing. You're knitting worsted weight socks, but using up those beautiful skeins of fingering weight yarn that I know you guys have, and you just don't know what to do with. Now is the time to pull those out and to knit yourself a super fast sock. I also need to make some socks for the girls in the toddler sizes with some of these leftovers. I can't wait. I cannot wait. For a toddler size, you need around 60 to 70 grams of yarn. If you only have like 30 grams of your fingering weight yarn left from your pair of socks, pick a contrast heels, toes, and cuffs, and you can get a ton done. And these are amazing gift knit presents because it uses up so much of your leftover yarn, knits up quickly, and I mean, they look amazing and they're fun to make. I have not woven in my owns. I do that after. So this was the sample number 2 that I knit. And the third sample I am still working on is out of Molly of the Homespun House. This is in her Christmas morning. This was also the sample that I showed you all. So these 3 samples are all knit using the same yarn held double. Like I mentioned, you can have fun and marl the yarn. It would be amazing, and I think I need to do that with some self-striping colorways. I have a lot of Felici, and I also have a lot of Nicole C Mendez. I think that that would be beautiful together. So you can really have fun with this pattern, make it your own, use up some yarn. You do not have to go and purchase yarn. You can use up all of your stash yarn, your leftovers, have fun. And I hope that you guys really enjoyed this little video. If you have any questions that I have not yet answered, please put them below. I do want to make sure that I answer them all and that you guys can get knitting right away because it is fun and exciting. And I just really want to thank you all for watching my videos, for your support, for your pattern purchases. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate every single purchase. It makes me all giddy. So thank you so much. And I will leave that there and get knitting and planning my next cast-ons. So I hope that you guys all have an incredible day. And as always, everybody, happy knitting.